As we speak, we know three things. Igor Tudor is not anymore the coach of Juventus Football Club. Tomorrow, on the bench for Juve Udinese, there will be Massimo Brambilla. And we don't have, as we speak, a new coach that signed a contract. But of course, the name of Luciano Spalletti is there on top of the list at the moment. As we speak, hot hours for the name of Luciano Spalletti becoming the new coach of Juventus. Recap of the last 24 crazy hours. What happened, what is happening, and what could possibly happen. We do all that in today's video. Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel. I hope you're all doing well. It's the moment to continue to subscribe to the channel, to support the channel with a maximum of like. We don't ask a lot, just a like. That's the moment to do it, because I want to start going back in what happened in the last 24 hours, starting with the words post-game of Lazio Juve from Igor Tudor. The last words of Igor that said, look, everyone is responsible. We are missing something from every point of view. I don't give a damn about my future. Well, I totally agree with the words of Igor, and I hope that the tifosi, the supporters, but also especially the management, the ones that are taking the decision, they understand that changing coach from Allegri to Thiago Motta, from Thiago Motta to Tudor, without even mentioning Paolo Montero for 2 games, that they understand clearly, and we supporters as well, that changing coach like that will not solve all the problems of Juve. Juventus problems at the moment are much deeper than that. And when Tudor said everyone is responsible, I 100% agree with that. When he's saying we miss something from every point of view, I totally agree with that. If we are speaking about Mercato, about the team that we have, missing players in certain roles, well, he's totally correct about that. When we are speaking about the fact that at the moment we still don't have a sporting director, well, we are missing something in every single thing. So going fast in what happened, really building back the behind the scenes, because I told you during the watch along Lazio Juve, no way that Tudor will be dismissed now, that he will be dismissed in the international break after Derby della Mole. The probabilities are high, and I agree with that choice. That's what I told you after that loss 1-0. We anticipated. Why? Because Sunday night in the locker rooms, well, apparently there was a heated confrontation between the coach and the players. Coach that was pissed off with the players. The big words were used. You have no dignity, etc., etc. The things that we, the supporters, are saying here in post-life to certain players, that they are not worthy wearing the shirt of Juve, etc., etc. That was the final straw, because the accusations were quite harsh from the coach, and that's the moment where they really realized it. Now Comoli was there, he saw, he heard. Going on the plane from Roma to Torino, decision has been taken. Probably, I don't know how he did it, but opening a Wi-Fi line, and he was already in contact with John Elkann to receive the permission of a decision that was already taken. When they arrive in Torino, when they land there around 1 a.m. in the morning, the decision is taken, not communicating yet, because yesterday morning in La Continassa, a lot of movements, behind the scenes, inside information, a lot of inside moves, and the decision has been communicated to Igor. You are not the coach of Juve anymore. Then the papers, the journalists, Sky Sport, they started to speak about it at 12 p.m., where officially it was 12:42 p.m., where Juventus communicated that Igor Tudor is not anymore the coach of Juve, one. Secondly, that it will be Massimo Brambilla that will be the coach, sitting on the bench for Juve Udinese. Listen really carefully to the words Juve Udinese, which means that Juventus, they want to accelerate to find already a coach that will be there in La Continassa for the first training session on Thursday morning after Juve Udinese. Now you will tell me, Beppe, but why? That acceleration cannot be just because of the heated confrontation in the locker room. No, we need to sum up all these things before we speak about Spalletti, because this is already pre-story, it's already the past. Well, one, not using the new players. Uno. Two, tactical mystery. We don't understand it. Look at the game of Lazio. 4 different formations without any sense, and none of them was working. Players out of role. Look at Conceição not finding the striker yet after 11 games. It's a problem. The press conference words of Igor Tudor were not appreciated by the management. When Darren Burgess was introduced, I don't know this person, are not beautiful words. We said it here. Fabregas can choose the player that he wants. I don't have that luxury. Are things that are not appreciated. True or not true? if we played Cremonese instead of Milan, we would be first. Well, things that are not appreciated, but most of all, of course, the result, because at Juve, turn things how you want. Well, it's the result that counts. And if you don't win for 8 games in a row, 3 games losses, and then on top of that, you are not even able to score a single goal in 4 games already. 4 games. Guys, the decision has been made really, really fast. Do we have already a coach that already signed? No. We don't have it. But we are also obliged to say that Igor Tudor was not the first choice. It was not even a B choice. If we know that in the summer, before extending the contract, Conte was contacted, Gasperini has been contacted, and after the not finding an agreement or refusal, I don't know. Anyway, we went for Tudor. Well, we know that it was not a choice. It was not a choice that convinced everyone at La Continassa. And also we see it with the Mercato movements, and because Tudor has never been listened to. That being said, I really want to say thank you to Tudor, because I will never forget that when nobody wanted to help Juve in a dramatic situation, he was the first one. Without speaking about length of contract, without speaking about money, he jumped into this car, he came to Juve. Romantic story? Yes. Now, of course, when he's saying it's not enough to be Juventino, having that Juventinità to be the coach of Juve, well, unfortunately, it didn't happen. That being said, here we are again with that beautiful circle, our circle, if we want, where we have a beautiful start of the season, then we go towards draws, and then we continue with the injury of Bremer. That injury of Bremer leads, of course, to the sacking of the coach, and after that we go with an objective 4th spot. Attenzione, because about that objective 4th spot, I want to say that no, we cannot go with whatever coach that is coming. Now, of course, we speak about Spalletti, but whatever coach that is coming, that it's Spalletti, Xavi, Palladino, Mancini, Renner Rodgers, or Brendan Rodgers, whatever the name it is, guys, whoever comes, it cannot be. We are only at -6 in Serie A. That doesn't mean that magically we have now the strongest team on earth that is able to compete until the end for the Scudetto, which I don't believe. And I always told you that, but we are at -6. So an objective, no, the objective is start to win the games immediately from the game against Cremonese. Why am I saying Cremonese? Because, of course, tomorrow Brambilla will sit there on the bench, and with 1 training session only, what miracle do you expect from Brambilla? One that is really great as a coach. Saved us last season with the next gen from a relegation zone, was able to bring us to the playoffs. One that made sure that he gave the chance as debut for Huijsen, for Yildiz, but he did really beautiful things. And also this season he's doing quite well with the next gen, but he will not become the first coach of Juve. I had the honor to interview him, one-on-one interview in April 2023, so best of luck for the game. I would love that he goes on the bench of Juve for 1 game and then he wins that game for him, but also, of course, for us Juventini, because we need to go back to victory as soon as possible. So a lot of candidates we heard in recent days, even Laurent Blanc, Spalletti, Palladino, Mancini, Zinedine Zidane, the comeback of Thiago Motta. Ragazzi, forget about it. We don't have that flexibility at the moment. We need to go for a coach that is free, because it's a moment of urgency. 1. 2, we are also not free to do whatever we want in terms of money, because we are still paying Thiago Motta, we are still paying, and we will continue to pay Igor Tudor, 2 coaches that, if you are looking at the length of contract that they still have, and also the money that we are needing to pay to them and to their staff, we are speaking about 25 million euro, which is huge, which is a lot, which is limiting the choices in terms of availability of coach, but also the finances that you can go for. So you are limited in the choice, and that's my huge, big regret. If Tudor was able to do a beautiful Serie A, and I'm not speaking about winning it, but a beautiful one without being sacked in that season, maybe in the summer would have had, because I think the decision was already taken, much more availability, maybe even going for a foreign coach, but at least one that you 100% believe in. But of course the papers are going towards one name, Gazzetta dello Sport. Avanti con Spalletti, we go with Spalletti. La Juve a Lucio, Juventus to Lucio, Luciano Spalletti. And then you see the title of Tuttosport is saying Juve. Perché Spalletti? Juve. Why Spalletti? That's where we enter the details. First of all, let's say Spalletti was already a candidate in the post Thiago Motta. There were already some talks between him and Cristiano Giuntoli. So it's not an unknown coach. It's not someone that you say, oh, we have the idea Spalletti. Now, Spalletti has always been in contact with Juve. It didn't happen. Why? Because he was working on and expecting a longer contract, which didn't happen. Spalletti is a good coach. Let's not lie about that. We know what he did with Napoli, winning the Scudetto. And if you don't remember, it's tattooed there. And by the way, I will repeat it here. I have absolutely no problem with the tattoo, because it's not a tattoo of Napoli, the club. It's a tattoo of winning the Scudetto with Napoli, with him as a head coach. Anyway, I don't care, but doing also well in the 2 spells at Roma, doing okay with Inter, winning in Zenit St. Petersburg in Russia, or even win twice the Campionato from Russia. So it's a good coach that showed also really beautiful football with La Nazionale. After starting quite well, it didn't end really well. Now, I will not deny the fact that he has never been my favorite coach. Has never been my favorite coach from a sporting side, neither the coach that I love in terms of person. Of course, I never met him, I never spoke with him, so it's a question of feeling. I don't like the way that he's speaking, I don't like the perception that he's giving me sometimes from a certain arrogance. These are things that I don't really appreciate. Now, if we are speaking about a person, there was one person that I really disliked and I really didn't want at Juve, and I was pissed off, and I even promised me that the first year of that coach on the bench of Juve, I would not even listen to the press conferences because I was just allergic to listening to the voice, to see the face. Well, it was Massimiliano Allegri. Massimiliano Allegri, if I'm not wrong, look at the museum, look at how many titles there have the name of Max Allegri there. 5 Scudetti, 5 Coppa Italia, some Supercoppa, twice the final of Champions League, one that I had later opportunity to meet, to speak with, and that became a person that I really, really appreciate. And then the coach showed me a lot, even if we know it, that 2.0 was not a beautiful idea. Not for us, not for him, I believe for nobody. So who knows? Guys, I tell you, from the moment that there is black on white, the signature, I will not deny what I said and what I thought about the person, about the coach Spalletti, but I will be his first supporter. And I tell you that from the moment that he will become the coach of Juve, I will shave my hair, I will become bald in honor of our new coach, Luciano Spalletti. That being said, I don't like also the sporting talk about Spalletti, especially in moment of difficulties, and that will be one of the things that I will judge. How can he really fast take us out of a complicated situation? Because a coach like Spalletti, with an entire summer to prepare the team physically, is a coach that is delivering really beautiful results in the beginning. Taking a team in the conditions that we are at the moment will be a really difficult step. What are the details about Spalletti? Because probably you are asking for. Well, it looks like we go towards today already, because he spoke to Sky Sport. He was at an event, Amaro Montenegro, that is an alcoholic drink, because he did an ad together with Francesco Totti. No, he was not in Montenegro. It's the drink that is called Amaro Montenegro in Milano. And after that, he should go, and probably as I'm recording, he's already on his way to meet Comoli in Juventus, in La Continassa. I tell you that if he goes there physically, it's not to talk anymore. The talks have been done. If he goes there, it's to sign the contract, to speak about the last details. So I'm expecting also an announcement already today. That doesn't mean that he will be on the bench of Juve tomorrow, but I'm already expecting an announcement today. So what I am expecting from these days are Spalletti in La Continassa today, signature, announcement in the afternoon, tomorrow probably him in the Allianz Stadium to watch the game from the stands, and Thursday morning him coaching Juve. Can he do well? Is it a logic choice? I believe yes. I believe it's a logic choice for going for a man that knows Serie A really, really, really well. He's 66, so it's one with a lot of experience. And he's also a coach, a person that has absolutely no fear to go in contrast, in collision with some players, with the spogliatoio, with the locker rooms. If he needs to say something, he will absolutely say, at cost of losing an important player. He doesn't care. And I believe that this Juve, more than formations, more than tactical explanations, we start with some behaviors. We need someone that is able to shake them up without being scared of being totally alone, without needing actually the support from the management to do these kind of things and take some harsh decision. So in that one, I totally understand it. Again, what I regret, and I will always regret if he doesn't do well, because I hope that he will do well and that he can be our coach for the next 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years, why not? But if he doesn't do well, my regret would be that you were kind of, because of urgency, because of timing, obliged to go for him and not for another coach, because 8 months of contract would start with an automatical renewal in case of reaching the Champions League. I don't know if that renewal will give him 1 more year or immediately a plus 2 years, so pay attention to that. Then we start already with the formations, with Tuttosport that is giving us a 4-3-3 with Yildiz on the left, Conceição on the right, and Jonathan David there, a midfield made of Koopman, of Locatelli and Thuram, Cambiaso as a left back, and then you have a Gazzetta dello Sport that is going towards a 4-2-3-1 with Thuram Koopmeiners in the middle, without, of course, Locatelli, and we know why, and then a Yildiz as a number 10 with I don't know why Gazzetta dello Sport is putting McKennie in the position of Yildiz there on the left, on the top, Conceição on the right, and Vlahovic there in the middle. I don't know. I think it's quite early also for a coach that in his career played with a 4-2-3-1, with a 4-3-3, but also with a 3-5-2. So I think it's a bit early to really go into details about formation. Let's do it step by step. Spalletti at La Continassa. Spalletti announced, Spalletti doing his first training session, and then from there we go. I hope you enjoyed the latest information about Juve. It's tough because, of course, tomorrow we'll play already. Today there is no press conference of Brambilla. So we'll speak maybe in the afternoon with a breaking news live about Spalletti announcement at Juve. And otherwise tomorrow we go into ritmo partita towards the game, Juve Udinese, where, guys, I repeated it now since 8 games, but we need to continue to say it. The 3 points, whoever sits on the bench, are an obligation. If you enjoy, please put a maximum of like. Don't forget to subscribe. Grazie, forza, Juve.